Now that we've set the material properties for the stent and the balloon, we'll actually go through and import the geometry and do some final edits. So to do that, we'll download the geometry from the Cardiovascular Stent module under Geometry and just click the Download the Parasolid file. Once you do that, you can then import that Parasolid file into the model by right-clicking on Geometry, Import Geometry, Browse, and then selecting the simple stent and opening it up. Then you can double-click on Geometry to open up Design Modeler, where we can do some edits to the geometry. And click Generate. So you can see we have a very simple 3D model of a stent. Now from here, what we want to do is we want to add the balloon into the center of the stent, and we also want to cut the stent up into symmetric pieces. That way we can simplify the model and reduce calculation time. So first we're going to go to Units and select millimeter, and then we're going to start cutting up the stent into symmetric pieces. So the first cut we'll make is on the XY plane right through the center of the stent. So we'll create a new plane by selecting XY plane and then selecting new plane, and then we'll offset from the XY plane by Z 4 millimeters to the center of the stent. And then we'll click Generate to generate the plane. From there, we can go to Create, Slice, and select that plane that we just made. And then by selecting that and clicking Generate, we'll create two separate bodies, cut straight down the center of the stent. Similarly, we're also going to cut by the ZX plane and the YZ plane to get the other quadrants of symmetry. So you can select those, create, slice, apply, and then select the other one also, create, well, generate first, and then select the other plane, create, slice, apply, then generate. So now we'll have 8 bodies, 8 parts. Now we'll select just the part of the body that's in the all positive quadrant. So this part. So we'll go through and control click on each part until we find the one, and then control click all of the others. And then right click, suppress body. And by doing this, we are left with only 1/8 of the original model. So that will really simplify calculations in runtime. Now we have to create the geometry for the balloon that goes inside the stent. To do that, we'll click on XY plane and then create new sketch. So that'll create a sketch that's facing this way. You can press on the positive Z to zoom in. We'll go to sketching, and then we'll create a circle under the draw. That's starting at the origin and up to there. From here we'll create a dimension, and we'll define the radius or the diameter of the circle to be 1.995 millimeters. So it'll be just barely less than the stent. From here we'll go to Modify and then Trim, and we'll trim away the excess parts of the balloon. Because of symmetry, we only need this part of the balloon. And then we can go to Create and Extrude and select the sketch. And under as thin surface, select Yes. And then we'll have FD1 will be 4 millimeters. So it'll go 4 millimeters from the XY plane. and we'll make its inward thickness 0.001 millimeters. And then we click generate. And you'll see that we've created the model for the balloon right inside the stent. Now we'll just name the two bodies that we have left over so that we can find them later on. So we'll right click, rename this first one to stent, and then we'll rename the balloon to balloon. And then just save project.